Okay, back onto the Swiss cheese project, which I'm loving. I love it. Anyway, so what I'm attempting to do here is, you just saw, I'm going to try and do some videos on this one and try and keep them in order somewhat for you guys, because you always say you don't get to see what goes on. So I managed to locate a piece that actually goes up in here. I found the front header panel. Now, could we make the front header panel here? You're damn right we could. We got the roller over there. We got a shrinker, stretcher. It's all over there, if you can see in the far corner. But for what it costs for me to buy this panel and to put it in, it's just cheaper for the customer. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's keeping the customer happy and trying to keep everyone on a budget within their means here at Old Time Garage. So, what I'm doing first is, before I'm even going to start to put this roof cap on this truck, I'm going to take care of the rust in it while it's off the vehicle, because it only makes sense that it's easier to work on something on the ground than it is to work on up in the air, correct? We all agree on that? Well, let's go back here. As we can see, you remember, maybe it's better from the inside. Look at the inside of this cab. So what I'm doing is, I've took measurements, and you don't have to, guys, you don't have to, if you're doing the same sort of repair, you don't have to exactly copy everything I've done here. I take measurements at different points. I took a measurement from here to up to the top, obviously. And obviously the measurement from here compared to over in the center is going to be different, because we've got a hump in the dash. But I've taken measurements over there, over here, over here. I've got measurements across the top. I got measurements everywhere. So I take my measurements and I make sure, you know, that they're marked down somewhere where I'm not going to lose them. The next thing is I'm going to cut this. I'm looking, I'm seeing the curve, and as soon as I see it starts to straighten out, that's when I want to do my cut. You don't want to be doing it up on the curve. You want to do it up on the straighter part, or at least that's how I feel about it. So I'm going to cut it there. So of course I've taken a measurement from the top to here on either side, and I've done it twice. Then I went and did the same measurement on the new top we're getting. Now what I'm going to do on this truck is, there's a factory seam, and if you own one of these trucks you'll see it, it kind of goes along in here. Well, I'm going to chop it out along in here. Now don't look at this tape line. I just put this tape, I ran it from one side to the other, so I knew I was going to get it exact. I didn't have to. The line is there. How can you fuck it up? But I was just being super careful. Now what I'm going to do is, along in here, there's spot welds that hold this top part on, which would be right up into this body line. So this here, oh, sorry guys, this part would stay. This is coming out. So we're going to cut the top here. We're going to remove all of this. This section is going to stay. This is going to come out. Then all this is going to come out with it. Then we're going to put the new top on, which I've done the same measurements. I've gone from here to here. I'm just below when it comes. I'm going to cut this off, because that's where I'm going to join it on the cab. And again, we're going to cut it down below there. But this top is, here, I'll go on this side. This top is in way better shape. I mean, look at it. No rust whatsoever, but there is a little bit back in here. And remember, on the opposite side of this piece is going to come off from this piece. So we're going to reuse all of this top. So we're going to fix that little bit of rust. But in the meantime, if you remember, this was completely rotted out too. So I got this panel and I've welded it on now while it's off the truck. Okay? So there you go. So there's my next step on the Swiss cheese project. So after I get that done, I did have some rust that was in here. I took care of it. Well, it was off. There was a bit here and there. I took care of that. So now my next step is, I'm going to flip this down on the ground, and I'm going to take care of all the rust you see back in there. I'm going to cut that out and butt weld some pieces in there. Take care of that. So that's the next step, and then we're going to start to separate this top from the pieces we don't need down in there, and we're going to start to separate this top from what we don't need. And when we do that, we'll get back to you and we'll show you another video on what we're doing. So that's it. So I'm trying to keep it. There might be some videos that get stuck in between this one, but pay attention. We're going to call this the Swiss Cheese Project. Sorry to the owner out there. We're going to call it Swiss Cheese, and I'm going to try and show you a little bit of what I'm going about here, because I know that's what you guys want to see. And we'll try and get some filming going on when we're welding and cutting and putting some metal in there too. I'll try and get some of that in there for you too. Okay guys, it's always a good time at Old Time. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you next time. Big thumbs up, eh? Okay, get up in that shop and do something. Quit watching me.